How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to another Saturday Night Live. And we've got a good show for you tonight. Lots to talk about, lots to discuss. And as ever, I'm joined by some of my favourite pals on YouTube. We'll start off at the top. We've got Luke from Hydra Collectibles. How are you, Luke?
I'm very good. It's been a long while since we've been here.
Yeah, well, we were here last week. You weren't here last week. No, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, bud. And we've got some interesting stuff to talk about in a bit, so we'll get into that. We've got the good doctor himself, Von Hoot. How are you, sir?
I am absolutely spiffing, sir. It has been a minute for me as well. Yes,
spiffing.
Spiffing.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a good word.
I'm bringing it back.
It never left. It never left, Von Hoot. Good stuff. Good to see you, my friend. And we have got the one and only Highland G. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Yeah, it's good to be here. How are you, Pete?
Not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. Thank you for asking. Now, we do also have the one and only James T. Keegan, our computer expert, who, as usual, his computer's not working. So he's kind of drifting in and out, and he will be here at some point, I'm sure, once he's got his internet sorted. Let's just quickly jump to the chat and see who we've got. And we have got Dead Man, nice to see you, and a happy Easter to you as well, my friend. We've got Chris Bell, ladies and gentlemen, the star of the show, Triple G, Peter Mince on stage. Thanks, Orgrave. Thank you very much, mate. It's always a pleasure to see you, Chris. Chris is putting some cracking comics on his Instagram page at the moment, guys. You need to check that out. And Chris, let me know in the chat, how are you getting on with your trading up thing? Have we still got the Mankind book to swap? Let me know. We have also got the one, the only Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Jesus might not have returned, but I have. Everyone's a winner. Yeah. As I read that out, I got it, Fuzzy. Yeah, I get you. That is very cool. It's always nice to see you. We've got Tragedy Tales. Always a pleasure. Nice to see you, my friend. And we've got Jack. Always good to see you, Jack. And Sean is here as well. Always nice to see you, Sean. Thank you for joining. We've got the one and only Ian Carter. Nice to see you, Ian. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And we've got Jason McFowle. Jason, not sure I've seen your name before. Is this your first time on the channel? If so, welcome. Nice to see you. We've got my pal, the original Big Dave. Always good for Dave to jump in. Evening, fella. Sorry you're playing second fiddle to the foot. How dare you? How dare you? Looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts on Godzilla Kiss Kong. Absolute batshit crazy popcorn madness. It certainly was, Dave. Certainly was.
The only sport that anybody should have watched today was the Gladiators final.
Oh God, I forgot it was on. I forgot it was on.
Is that in the stream? Let's just.
Is that sport? Is that sport or pantomime? I'm not quite sure. It's been picked up for a second season, hasn't it? From what I've seen. Yeah. Good stuff. And we've got. How do you pronounce that? Oz AC. We'll see. Always good to see you, bud. Thank you very much. Congrats on your Spidey win, Mr. Bell. What Spidey win, Mr. Bell? What did you win there? I may be pleading to all of mankind for a train suit because he's gone nowhere. Oh dear. Chris has got a stunning Mankind. I think it's a signed book, Chris, that he's trying to trade up. So check out his Instagram for that. Fuzzy, Kiss Kong. Exactly, Fuzzy. Kiss Kong, Kiss Jesus. Yeah. Sticking with the religious theme. Okie dokie, guys. Let's crack on. We've got lots to get through. Please do hit that like and subscribe button for everybody on Screens channels. We've got Hydra Collectibles, Highland J, and Dr. Von Hoot. So please make sure you do go and check out all of their pages. That's where I'm at. That's all my different socials and all that kind of shenanigans. So please do jump on that if you can. Right, lots to talk about tonight, including this tremendous little Spider-Man short that I didn't even realise was coming. I didn't know anything about that, and got some stuff to say about that later on. Before we do start, though, I just wanted to briefly mention this. Louis Gossett Jr. Now, this is particularly poignant for me at the moment because myself and James recently watched the Dolph Lungren Punisher movie, in which this gentleman played an astounding part in the movie. So a tragic loss to the acting community, but also he seems like an incredibly great guy as well from all the different various things I've seen. So a big loss to the industry. You guys familiar with his work at all?
Not massively. I'm just checking his IMDb as we're talking because I don't really know
He's
if
done-
I've seen him in anything.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great older movies, but he's the most recent thing I've seen him in. He was in. Do you know when they did the Watchmen TV
The
series?
latest one. The newest,
Yeah, he was in that as well. He was in that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
When you did the Punisher review, I actually watched that for the first time, and weirdly, in the exact same week, I saw a film called. It's like Head Teacher or something like that. It's got James Belushi in it, and it was James Belushi, and he's the head teacher, and Lou Gossett is like the cool guy in the movie, and it was exact same week. And I rarely have seen the Lou Gossett movie, but like I'm looking through his IMDb, I've seen him in TV shows more because he's in everything for like one episode. But yeah, he was great.
I mean, in The Punisher, I have to say, as much as an entertaining movie that was, his scenes, he literally ate the scenes up. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant in them. Rob saying
Eagles.
Iron Eagles. Yeah, very cool.
I've never
movie.
seen that, and I
very
bought
good.
it today on Amazon just so I can watch it later on because I want to
very-
know. Because everybody's talked about it for years, I just never got around to it. And
Yeah, it's a
it's
very
a good way
cool.
to mark his passing. To
Yeah.
see
I
something.
didn't realise he was in An Officer and a Gentleman. Mind you, it's a long time since I've seen that one, so I'll have to go check that out. And we've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Kenneth. I hope you are well. We've got James in the background here. James, are you wanting to join? There he is.
I don't
Is he
know what's
like-
going on, man. How do I look?
I mean, you look as good as you usually look. Do you know what I mean? You're still a little bit blocky. You're frozen, staring at us, but I find it alluring. It's nice.
Great. Okay. I don't know what's happened. I've restarted everything. I don't know what's going on.
Let's just-
you all look fine as
Yes,
always.
naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris.
We'll just go with it, James. We'll just go with it. See how you do. Okie dokie. So, let's crack on with a bit of news that's been happening. Chris is saying pale, James, pale. Yeah, he looks a bit, a bit washed out. There will be a giveaway later on, ladies and gents. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But if you watch the show, it'll be no surprise. It's the same point every week. Let's talk a little bit about this at first. This is Pirates of the Caribbean. We kind of knew this was coming, but we've now had confirmation that this is going to be a complete reboot. So starting from scratch, and it's very heavily hinted that there's going to be a female-led cast. Scarlett Johansson has been mentioned in it, as has Margot Robbie. So, going to come to you guys. What do you think about it being a reboot, and are you excited about this? Personally, I'm going to miss a bit of Jack. I'm hoping he has at least a cameo. Luke, start with you, mate. What do you think?
Yeah, so a lot of, I loved the first three Pirates of the Caribbean films, so I just have to say that I think they are superb. When it comes to the franchise, a lot of people mention Jack Sparrow, and they're like, "Oh, you can't do it without Johnny Depp. You can't do it without Jack Sparrow." I personally feel like you can't do it with Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley either. I think the trio, the dynamic between them all, is what made those movies.
Yeah.
So having a reboot is fine. But I'm just not too sure if it would work. I mean, even if they have the same characters again as the reboot with new actors playing them, I still don't know if it'll be the same sort of chemistry that we got with that original series. So, as always, I'll give it a try. But I do think that we were kind of spoilt back in the day by those films. I think that those were kind of peak cinema. Like, before the MCU and everything else, like that was the go-to franchise, I think.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you, Luke, about the trilogy of talent they're making. The movie's very, very successful. What about the rest of you guys? Anybody particularly excited about this? Or James?
I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Always have. For me, I don't think the problem with the later movies is that Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley aren't in them. It's more so that Jack is better as a supporting character. So if it's a full reboot, I'm a bit like, that's a shame. I'd love to see him back, and I think if you give him even a smaller role in it, I think people will kind of come around.
Yeah. I think to not have him feature in it, particularly after all the shit that's gone on over the last year or two, would be a shame. I would like to see him in it. Highland G or Von Hoot, you guys got anything to think about this?
I think it's interesting, I guess, that they're going to reboot it because, I mean, for me, I feel like it's kind of drawn out at this point. I don't feel that it's as big as it was in the first couple of movies, and I don't know. I wouldn't mind a break from it, to be honest, before they kind of came back to it, if they are going to reboot it or do something like that. But I actually think that if they are going to take it from a different angle, why not just do different pirates? Like, stay in the same world, but just do different pirates.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. When they say a reboot, I hope it's nothing to do with Jack Sparrow. I hope this is, because let's be honest, the pirate world can be anything you want it to be. Do you know what I mean? We could go anywhere with this.
Create different types of pirates and different types of gangs and whatever you want to tell.
There's such a huge like mythology and lore to that franchise. There's so many different places you can go.
Yeah.
It's like it. Personally, if I never see Jack Sparrow again, I'll be fine. Like, I can't be doing with Johnny Depp doing that silly accent. I was fine with those movies. I like them, but like, I don't. But if they make this movie and they recast somebody, like, the internet will explode with, why isn't it Jack Sparrow? Blah, blah, blah. So I don't want that either. Yeah. So I'm all for just a complete reboot with no one else. Yeah. Not to be confused with the adult film Pirates. Yes, that's
much
a good
better.
point.
That's much better, yeah. Just going to quickly jump to the chat. Sean, reboot, why? Yeah, Ian, they tried it with Ghostbusters and it didn't work. Ooh, that can't. Yeah, you're right. I demand DVH to play the pirate simply because I want to see a Maul with a parrot on his shoulder. Would it be a parrot or would it be an owl? What's your preferred shoulder adornment, Von Hoot?
I think it should be a tiny human.
Yeah. Warwick Davis. Yeah.
Why not?
Sorry.
Wow. Pete just got cancelled.
Yeah, sorry, apologies. Fuzzy, they're all the same film. Basically, it does nout for them. Yeah, they are very similar mind as they start to go on. I think
they are good, like popcorn blockbusters.
Yeah,
by and large. So, like, I'm not gonna have them talked bad about, as it were, but also. Peak of cinema, I believe, is what Luke said earlier, which I was a bit like.
It might just be the age bracket I'm in, because I was, I think, aged when
the
first movie came out, and there was like a magic to those, like the cinemas.
I mean, they're great.
I think it was the time of we had these high-end paid actors, as well as the fact that the CGI and the practical effects and everything was perfect in a way. You know, nowadays we moan about how everyone's just on a soundstage and nothing is real anymore, you know. So that's what I mean when I say it was like peak cinema. It's not necessarily because of the story, but because of the whole package, everything that went with it.
I think I'm probably as much like a few of you that I remember very clearly the first probably 2 movies and thoroughly enjoying them. And then it's all a bit of a blur after that, I have to be honest. I couldn't really distinguish what happened after that and who was where and all the rest of it.
The CGI with Davy Jones was superb. For me, it's up there with the Planet of the Apes reboot. Like, it looks amazing.
Davy Jones, the squid-faced one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that was very, very good. Very neat. Speaking of movies, I'm not going to come to each of you for every one of these slides, guys, or else we'll be here all night. But so chip in if you've got anything you want to add. But we've had Florence Pugh doing a quick little bit of filming from the set of Thunderbolts. Can I just say straight off the bat, I think I love her. She's friggin' incredible. And I think,
love her.
Wow.
Yes. It's not a hard sell, that.
But I don't know, it's just something about when you see her being interviewed, she just seems like such a nice, fun person as well. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this film. We've not heard anything really since the Sentry kind of disappeared. So I've not heard who's going to replace them or what the villain's going to be or anything.
They announced who it's going to be. I can't remember. It was someone I'm not that familiar with.
Oh, right. I missed that.
The most intriguing premise of all the MCU canon, for me personally, that's coming soonish.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, the other stuff, the further deep into, like, space and all that kind of stuff, I just see, you know, it's going to suck. Whereas this can be sort of ground level and it's a fun idea. It could work. Cautiously optimistic.
I mean, I get the impression they're going to play very much to the Suicide Squad vibes. And actually, do you know what? With that cast, this could really, really work. I think they've got some work to do with the character of Taskmaster, because I don't think that was well received.
Yeah, that needs rehabbing.
But
yeah,
but you know, the rest of them, that's a strong cast. You know, that's a strong
David
cast.
Harbour's awesome. I'd watch him in anything. So,
and I loved US Agent. I thought his portrayal was spot on. Highland G, you don't watch a lot of the Disney Plus stuff or the Marvel movies at the cinema. Is this something that would appeal to you? Is there any characters there that jump out at you that you'd like to know more about?
I mean, there isn't. I mean, as far as kind of characters following in the sort of MCU, Bucky's the character that, you know, I kind of have followed from sort of, you know, Captain America, and it's probably the character that I liked in comics going into the whole kind of thing in the first place. But having said that, I don't really like what they've done with Bucky's story, the last 2-3 things. So it's probably something I'll see, you know, once it comes out on disc or some kind, rather than sort of as and when it drops. But yeah.
I mean, going back to last week's show, I was very surprised that Bucky's not going to appear in the new Captain America movie. After they seem to have invested such a lot of time and effort into establishing him as kind of the sidekick of the Falcon, or working alongside Falcon, for him to then just not appear in that movie just seems very odd to me.
I didn't realise that at all. That does seem really crazy.
Yeah. I mean, in the canon of the comics, Bucky was Captain America, then it went back to Steve, and then it goes to Sam. And so they could have took their time doing that if they wanted to, but it seems like they really want to make a thing about skipping over Bucky. I don't know why.
Yeah. Fuzzy, I reckon Bucky dies. Yeah, might be on the cards. But I think you're right, Highland J. There's something very poetic and beautiful, really, and they kind of touched on it, about Bucky's story, about him atoning for his past, as it were, and getting that shield and becoming Captain America.
Want the shield. Yeah, it's a burden to him.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a shame we've missed that, but I'm looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be fun. Now, guys, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. This is the island of Burke. I don't know if you guys are into your How I Train My Dragon books or How to Train Your Dragon storylines. You've watched any of them?
I haven't seen it, but I only hear good things.
Yeah, so they're going to make... do you remember a while ago we talked about a new Universal land at Florida where they were going to kind of increase the different islands of adventure side of stuff? They're making Burke, apparently, where there's going to be all kinds of different dragon-themed rides and things like that. And this piqued my interest a little bit. So I am a bit of a theme park fan. I love going to the theme parks. I love going to particularly Disney, because it's not just your traditional kind of roller coasters and stuff like that. You can get different kinds of attractions and things like that, and characters wandering and all that kind of jazz. And it got us thinking, if there was a blank canvas and you could create your own land at Universal or Disney or wherever, of any franchise you want, any rides you want, anything like that, what would it be and why? So I'll start you off so you can have a bit of a think. I'm going to stick with the Marvel theme for me. And again, in the chat, guys, stick it in the comments what kind of themed land you would like. But for me, I think, having seen Hogwarts, I think you could do something absolutely spectacular with Thor. You knew it was going to be Thor. But I'm just thinking Asgard would be incredible. Do you know, the Rainbow Bridge connecting all the different rides and things like that. You could have Odin's kind of castle, massive and all that kind of stuff. You could have your Hall of Armour, of weapons and things. I just think it would look pretty spectacular. Luke, what are you going to come for?
I would go for vintage, and it's important that I say vintage Planet of the Apes. Yeah. So the original 5 movies that they did, and all the different settings and world pieces that they had, and just people running around in makeup, it'd be crazy.
See, now I would love that if you also incorporated a little bit of that. Have you heard of Karen's Diners? The kind of where the Karens. So when you go into a Karen's diner,
yes,
but that using that kind of kind of ideology at Planet of the Apes world, you've got the monkeys. The apes, walking around shouting at you and things like that, kind of chasing you on and stuff between rides. That could be a good fun day out.
Not wanting humans around is what I mean. Yeah,
whipping you. Ooh, dirty buggers. Yeah, that could be fun. I'd like that. James, how about yourself?
A big PlayStation guy. I think a PlayStation theme park would be really cool. You have Uncharted and God of War, the franchise you have access to there, would be cool. But if you're gonna theme it around one particular thing, a Scooby-Doo theme park would be awesome. With
how is that not a thing?
I don't know. It's crazy, but
it should be a big ride at the very least. I mean,
yeah.
Who owns the rights to all that now? The Hanna-Barbera stuff and
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers,
yeah. Yeah, Scooby-Doo, the spooky, but cartoony kind of be really cool.
It would have to have an absolutely epic ghost train, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
That would have to be.
escape rooms and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like solve mysteries, and it'd be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, so when I was at, I can't remember if it's Warner Brothers, one of the parks in Florida, the mystery machine pulls up and Scooby and Shaggy get out and things like that. And we got photos taken, me and the kids with them. It's tremendous. It was great fun. But you're right. It's criminal that there's not more of that kind of stuff, I guess. Highland G, how about yourself?
It's difficult. I've just been thinking about it as you guys have been talking. I don't think I can think of like a specific franchise that I'd want to see, but something I would like to see in a theme park type thing, in the way that like you've got Star Wars right now, where you can sort of build your sort of droid or build your own lightsaber, kind of go through that experience. I'd love like a sidekick experience where you could like train to use a bow and arrow, or train to throw Cap's shield, or whatever it is you need to do to be the sidekick to your favorite hero.
I like that. And then on the floor there's a building and you can climb it with Batman. That kind of a thing.
Yeah, whatever the hero's thing is. So maybe they've got like themes that change each year, or
Get your photo taken as you're climbing up the
That must be a thing somewhere.
Yeah.
Peter, have you come across that?
The wall climbing? No.
Like a photo op where you can like pull the thing as if you're climbing. Really? I can't believe that.
You'd think someone would do that at a convention, wouldn't you?
I think there's been like posing walls before, but not like actual climbing walls that you'd have to kind of climb up.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Very cool. Von Hoot?
You'd have to have a trapdoor window.
Yeah.
That somebody like could stick out and be like in the photo.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I would have everybody's favorite New Jersey suburb, Tromaville, and have all the Troma characters. It'd be amazing.
I'm lost.
You don't know Troma?
I don't think so. What's
Toxic Avenger being the most important character.
Right.
You could have like the chicken place from Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, and you could have Tromeo and Juliet on the balconies, and like all the different characters. There are loads.
Sounds cool. I mean, that's a shame, Von Hoot, because as a special surprise for you, I was going to build whichever one you picked, and I just assumed it was Neighbours Land. So I'm going to have to scrap that now. That's burnt down, I'm afraid. Bulldozer moving in. Never mind. We've got a couple in the chat. Ian is suggesting Fuzzy World. That would be incredible. Would not know all the pictures of Fuzzy. It would just be up to the neck, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to see the head. Yeah. Fuzzy life-size Springfield. That exists in Florida, mate. It is tremendous. You can go to the donut place and the Quickie Mart, and it's really, really cool. It's good fun. Jason is saying Seth MacFarlane Land with all the TV shows and movie characters he's created. Again, that could be very, very cool.
I've got another one.
Yeah.
Con Air Land.
Nicolas Cage. Everywhere Nicolas Cage.
Cage running around, hair flowing.
Nicolas Cage Land.
Yeah, the land.
All the cages.
Face Off.
Let's
Ghost
do
Rider.
that. Yeah.
Con Air.
I'm all in for that. That's cool. James is that happy as cheering. Look, I was back. I'm that's the winner for the night. Okay, guys, I wanted to mention this. I don't know how many of you are Scott Young fans or variant comic book cover characters, but Scotty Young has got a month-long kind of assault on Marvel Comics where he's doing every single cover. I think there's 20-odd covers. Someone correct us in the chat. I want to say 21 covers and a giant poster. So each cover
it's 27.
It's a 27.
Yeah.
Each cover is a bit like the Alex Ross ones I did. It's an individual single character on a white background of all of these kind of famous characters there, and then there's this big poster thing. I have to say, not that I'm a massive collector of variant covers, or I'm trying to not be a massive collector of variant covers. It looks amazing, and if you like Scotty Young's work, these are incredible. I'll probably be picking up the Thor one just because it looks spectacular. Slabbed Crusaders is doing a special deal where they'll do you all of the books for 82 quid, which is very, very good, very good.
Or you can get it, all the books, CGC graded 9.8 guaranteed for £1,000.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah. I mean, sure, some people I'm sure I will go for that. Scotty Young stuff.
They love them.
Scotty Young stuff, you're pretty much guaranteed that these will never go down in, well, sorry, not never, but they'll not go down in value. They seem to fetch a fair premium, Scotty Young stuff. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I like the look of the covers. They look very, very interesting, if you like his style. I'll not personally be jumping in, I don't think. I think I'll get the Thor, but probably, and maybe it's a couple of the others if I particularly like them. I like his Ghost Rider. What about the rest of you guys? Any interest in any of these?
I was a massive Scotty Young fan back in the day, a number of years back, and I used to buy everything that ever came out that was drawn by him. Since then, I've kind of lost interest. Like I've still got all of those characters, but I kind of got the books that I want, so I don't really feel like I need any more.
Yeah.
If anything, I'll probably be looking to sell some of them in future. Yeah. But yeah, he's a great artist, and I see why people like these. I see why these will stand the test of time, as it were. Not for decades, obviously, but for now, people really do enjoy them.
Yeah, yeah. He's got a very distinct style, hasn't he? Any of the rest of you picking these up?
I'll probably pick up the odd one I like the look of, but really with Scotty Young, I sort of play the spec game with him, so I don't collect for me because I've grown to really appreciate his stuff, but traditionally it's not my cup of tea. Yeah. But I respect the fact that it doesn't go down in value really. It's a nice spec pick. So yeah. I'll probably get some of them. I won't get the whole thing, even though there is a evil hoot on the shoulder going, just buy them all. You can just click the button. You can have the whole thing.
I know. I'm exactly with you, and I was talking with Andy from Perpetual Comics. We're probably going to do a live show at some point about this, because I, a couple of years ago, got out of the kind of the FOMO buying covers and all that kind of jazz and focused on first appearances that I wanted. And then something over the last 6 months has happened, and I've started picking up. I've got 10, 15 copies of Thundercats. One here, the comics shit. But I've got all them.
How'd that go for you?
Yeah, so
I've seen all those.
It's obscene. So I'm pulling myself back. So I very nearly hit buy on this with Slab Crusaders when he messaged us this morning. And I thought, no, what am I gonna do with that amount of Scotty Young stuff?
Do you know what though? I do think there's a slight difference there to what you're saying. So the Thundercats, for example, or even the Transformers before that, where people were buying up all the covers, they were done by different artists. So there were some real flops. Whereas with Scotty Young, you know what you're getting, and what it's doing is actually giving you different characters in his style. So if you like the style, you're gonna win, and pulling that trigger for that, even if you just do the math, you buy the lot, you keep the ones that you want, you sell the ones you don't, you're still gonna come in quids in.
You see, I'm having a bit of a change around in my geek cave, in my wall that I used to have all my books displayed on. I'm getting rid of that wall. So if I wasn't getting rid of that wall, I could see myself hitting this button and getting them and putting them on display. But instead I'm putting 2 more toy cabinets. So yeah, interesting. Fuzzy's just saying there that he's now got 263 Scotty Young covers. Wow, Fuzzy.
That's where actually Fuzzy's Instagram highlights is where I see those covers and decide whether or not I'm going to buy one.
Yeah,
because he posted them a lot.
And there are some stunning ones.
One that's coming looks awesome. So there are ones that I genuinely think, I should get that.
Yeah.
Even to just flog it later on, but it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you could collect everything, but that's the problem, isn't it? There has to be a cut-off, I guess. This is a little bit interesting. So this is, I don't know if you guys remember, but a good while ago now, there was a whole hoo-ha about the Batman movie and about a writer who said that they'd plagiarised the script for the Batman, that it was a short story that he'd actually sent to DC as a suggestion for a Batman tale. So this has recently gone to court, and it's been thrown out. So the judge has said that no, there's no evidence of it being plagiarism, even though there's direct kind of correlation between some of the stuff that happens in this guy's script and the Batman's actual movie script. They said they're going to fight it and all the rest of it, but I don't know. I just found it a little bit interesting. Did any of you guys pick up on this story? No?
Didn't know anything about it, no.
Yeah, I heard about it. I think if you look at the Batman movie, there's elements pulled from various different Batman comics. So how someone can say, well, you took my Batman story is a bit bizarre to me.
Yeah, I think it was because within his script there was kind of like direct scenes that appeared in the Batman movie. One about the Riddler taking a phone call or something like that. But I completely get you, James. I think at this point there's not a lot that's not being written about a lot of these characters. So it has to be something startlingly different. Do you know what I mean? For someone to say, hang on.
You could watch that movie and go through shot by shot and be like, oh, that was in that book, that was in that book, and they may not even be directly lifted, but there's so much Batman that you could do that. So it seems quite...
I do find it interesting, mind, when we have kind of such coincidences at the cinema. Like you'll not get I don't know, using a random example, a movie about shrinking things. You'll not get a movie about shrinking things for years, and then all of a sudden there's like 3 released by various companies at the same time. I always find that a bit interesting.
So the one
it's like Friends with Benefits and obviously don't got No Strings Attached. Both came out within 2 months of each other.
Volcano and Deep Impact, that kind of stuff.
The one that always comes to my mind is that we have Dennis the Menace over here in the UK, but they also have Dennis the Menace over in the States, and they're both completely different, but they came out the same year. And you know, and that was at a time where they weren't really communicating backwards and forwards between the two countries. That so that's the one that always stands out to me. It's random how things just come up.
Strange, isn't it? It is strange.
We're living in the Matrix. It's not real.
That's what it is. It's just a glitch, isn't it? It's just a glitch. Excuse me. I think this is an interesting bit of news as well. So, a good few years ago, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Marvel changed a lot of their titles. So, all of a sudden, we've got Agent X, Soldier X, and Giant Size Ecstatics. Did any of you read any of those books at the time? I was a Marvel nerd at the time, so I read all of them initially. Agent X was basically Deadpool with a new costume, except they never called him Deadpool. Soldier X is Cable, without doubt, but they don't call him Cable in it. And then Giant Size Ecstatics was basically a new take on X-Force. And it was bizarre, really, really bizarre at the time that Marvel ditched a lot of its big selling books and kind of rebranded them, but in a weird kind of non-committal way.
We don't want to pay Rob Liefeld anything.
So that was what was hinted at the time. It was absolutely denied. Now, apparently, I can't remember if it was Tom Beveridge or someone like that, has actually come out and said it was a conscious decision at Marvel to take away all of the references to characters Rob Liefeld had created. So Deadpool, Cable, and X-Force.
That's weird.
So this was basically a way so that they wouldn't have to pay him royalties for those characters, but they could still get away with publishing the books. Now, they've actually come out and confirmed that now. Tom agreed. That's atrocious behaviour.
Surely if they've come out and said that, you would sue them.
Well, that's what I guess there's no proof because it's Tom Beveridge's word, isn't it, or whatever, whoever said it. But yeah, I mean, if I was Rob Liefeld, I would be, as much as I think the guy's a bit of a dick, I would be absolutely going to town on this. He seems in non-typical Rob Liefeld kind of way. He seems to have taken this quite calmly, and he's said a few things about it on Twitter and things like that. But he's not kind of fire and brimstone like he usually is. I just think it's appalling behaviour. Absolutely appalling behaviour. What do you guys think of this?
When was this?
Oh, it'll be in probably late 90s, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. A good few years ago now. It was when I was reading a lot of the X books. Yeah. But just awful. It shows how they treat creators.
I mean, I think it's difficult, though, because if you look at that whole era of comics, they were all copying and ripping each other off left and right. So to say that, Marvel created a copy of Deadpool so they didn't have to pay rights, well, I mean, there's also Deathstroke, and there's also Deathshot, and there's also, there's so many other characters that are, again, obvious rip-offs and correlations to each other. So at what point do you say Marvel... even if they come out and say it, in court, we changed the character so that we don't have to pay him. Then they go, well, you didn't use his character then. So they're assholes, but they didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember at the time thinking, what the hell is going on? Because particularly I was reading Deadpool a lot at the time. That character just vanished, and we got this Agent X. And if you read the comic, it was absolutely
There's
clear
the
that it
whole
was
Inhumans
Deadpool.
things recently with X-Men, where they tried to do a similar thing in order to move their money around.
But the thing is, all of those characters are their IP, so it doesn't really I don't understand why they would feel the need to.
Fuzzy's just saying he watched Rob Liefeld talk about this week. All right, I've seen him on Twitter, Fuzzy, but Brian McHale's show. Okay. It's interesting, very, very interesting. Pretty brutal area with knives out all over the place. I'm not in the least a bit surprised. Yeah, and I think the frustrating thing from what Rob Liefeld was saying was that it was kind of highly suggested at the time, but obviously everybody was denying it and saying, oh, no, and all the rest of it. But now it's kind of come out that it's true.
I think he's finally getting his kind of just money for Deadpool, so he's kind of happy that at least giving him something.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, for all your, various stories about his behaviour and all that kind of stuff, I can't deny his Twitter's quite entertaining sometimes, and I agree with quite a lot of what he says at times. Sometimes he's totally batshit crazy, but a lot of what he says is actually quite. He still can't draw feet, but I just wanted to mention this, and this is just caught my attention. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Reggie Collects is one of I would have thought the comic YouTubers kind of go-to people. He's got a massive channel. He's well known in the community, and his content going back years is always, in my opinion, top notch. And Luke, I know that you've had interactions with him and been on his show and things like that. I've seen nothing from Reggie, so this is purely kind of what I've heard. So take it with a pinch of salt. But a friend of his, Doug, who's been on my channel before talking about a book called Isolation that he does with Reggie, put a post up today to say, just to make sure people are aware, Isolation is going to continue on, because you will all have heard now that Reggie's chosen to step away from creation of content and social media and all the rest of it. And sure enough, I went on his page to have a look, and there's nothing there for a month or two. Yeah. So sad, because Reggie's one of the biggest names I would have thought in the YouTube field. Any of you guys know anything about this, or have you heard anything about this?
My understanding from what I heard, and again, this isn't from the horse's mouth, so I don't know, but apparently he's got a new job and he's just stepping away because he's got a new commitment. And apparently it's not the first time he's done this either. Like he moved away from creation content because of another job, and so he's got another one, and it's that simple. It's unfortunate, of course.
Yeah.
He'll be missed because he's a staple of the community. But...
Absolutely. Yeah, and I guess that's what I just wanted to kind of mention it on here, because Reggie's one of the first channels that I really kind of was drawn to back when I first started this YouTube malarkey, because I always found his content entertaining, but also educational. There was some good stuff on there. So hope all is well, and hope to see him back at some point.
I also liked him because he was willing to work with smaller channels and show them off a little bit. He was like, there are some people that just won't touch you if they're...
Oh, yeah.
The majority of my audience originated from me working with Reggie. I owe the guy a lot.
Yeah. Fuzzy, we need more Rob Liefelds in the world. Yeah. Chris Bell, he's been quiet now. Now you say it. Reggie was one of my first watchers on comic content. Absolutely, Chris. I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. Kenneth, nice to see you, my friend. I hope you are well. We've got Dogman. Nice to see you, bud. Hope you are well. And Sean, so many YouTubers I follow have stepped away. It's sad because they give good content. Yeah, but it's funny as well how your tastes change. Not that I hope anybody's tastes change in the audience. You all watch us all. But certainly I used to watch Gem Mint and people like that, and I've moved away from them completely. I can't remember the last time I watched anything by Comic Tom, if I'm honest.
Me too.
He's just not.
But I think Comic Tom is really good for entry level people. When they're sort of learning about stuff, but sooner or later you get the rhythm and you understand it yourself, and all his information you're sort of getting from every other source that you have at a certain point.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, you know I like my weird shit, and I like my weird food-based shit on this show. So this is 7-Eleven in America are doing hot dog flavour sparkling water.
Have a day off.
Horrendous.
Right, we need Efren to get us this. I want one. This is insane. Like, just
Now,
I'll
there
make
is.
you one, Von Hoot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty easy, Ron Hoot. Do you know what I mean? You get yourself a soda stream and a tin of those horrible hot dogs and stick them in there. It'd be lovely. Sausage water, lush. So there is a bit of a thing about this. So Big Bite is apparently 7-Eleven's big brand hot dog. They are releasing their own kind of chain of sparkling waters, and they put out a press release today or yesterday with a list of them. So there's raspberry, whatever, and on the bottom is hot dog flavoured water. But it does say that they're all being released on April the 1st. So this might not be a real thing. Now, we all know Americans are sick, but speaking of Americans, we've got, as ever, our roving reporter, the man on the ground, Efren.
Greetings, this is Ephraim, Passpoint Comics from WonderCon, California, in wet Anaheim, California, on the Triple G Network.
How are you, Efren? Are you well?
Good, guys. I had to memorize that, make sure I didn't mess up.
What have you been seeing, Efren? How big's the con? Is it a good one?
It's a good one. It's starting to pick up a little bit more. I'm outside in the main hallway. Let me turn it around so you can see some of the cosplayers here.
I saw you one of the
Doc.
the cats from Captain Marvel. Is that a Sue
from the
Storm?
Marvels.
What's the big yellow thing? Oh, it's from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Some titles?
This is
Harley?
the outside. You can see the outside of the convention center right here. You guys see it?
Yeah. Efren, just turn around again. Those girls with the green hair. Is that from the Edinburgh? Are they representing? No, to your right. To your right. I feel like I'm on Nightmare. Does anybody remember that old TV show? Take 2 steps to your left. No, that's a boy.
Well, they're not Oompa Loompas. Just by
That's
the door.
Poison Ivy.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. But is it the Oompa Loompas from that horrendous Scotland thing? Do you know that's just been kind of in the news recently? Anyway.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, that's me.
Let me go inside real quick. I'll show you the exhibit hall. Okay.
Okay. Now, there's rumour that Christian Slater's there. James would like
See
you to
him?
go and see Christian
No.
Slater.
I
If you
haven't
go
seen
say hi to Christian Slater, I will cry.
He had a panel yesterday, but I didn't know until late at night, and not late at night, but late in the evening, and I just didn't, go tackle him for James.
Let's go and meet Eric Estrada again. Like yesterday.
Yes.
That was amazing.
All right, I'm gonna turn around. This is the exhibit hall right here. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Walking in, obviously. It's a little bit loud outside, but it's good. I can hear you guys a lot better in here.
Brilliant.
Very cool. Tell that man he's got a ball patch.
So what have the highlights been, Efren?
I bought some X-Men comic books. I had a commission done.
Nice.
That video I took of the cats from the Marvels, that was a really cool cosplay.
Yeah. Very cool.
That was really cool, so.
Yeah. Very cool.
But it's your
Efren-
typical Comic-Con,
It looks amazing, mate. It looks amazing. Looks like there's some good stuff there. Efren, we've just been talking. You know how I do like to talk about American foods. 7-Eleven are doing hot dog flavoured sparkling water. You up for that? Doing a taste test?
Oh, my God. If you guys do it, I'll do it. But, please.
Absolutely.
No, I'm
Absolutely.
going to eat James's
I'll take that.
cookies. I'm going to eat James's cookies when they get back.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Efren, we'll let you crack on, mate. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
See you, Efren.
See you, bud.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lunatic. Absolute lunatic. I
What's he
He's the
like?
best.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Okay, jump into the comments, guys. Fuzzy, sausage juice. Yeah, dirty. In other news, I'm making a fart sandwich if you fancy it, Peter. It sounds appealing. Efren's... I don't know if Efren... Well, Efren does drink a little bit, but he doesn't drink that much, mate. I think he's just high on life. Permanently. And we've got Andy in the chat. Nice to see you, Andy. This is just Efren's front row. Yeah, probably, mate. That's what I thought. The Glasgow Oompa Loompa things. That's what I saw. So I thought as well. Fuzzy is bang on. Efren's at a Comic-Con. I'll take you outside. You can look at the You can look at the road. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Yeah, good stuff. Always a pleasure to see Ephraim. What a guy. He's my hero. Right, talk a little bit about what we've been reading recently. So, guys, if you've been reading anything, I wanted to mention this. I did a show the other night, and I think I said that I would be up for reading a Zoro book. And some of the guys in the chat, I think it was Darkman and Fuzzy, both pointed out that there is a current Zoro book out there. This is now on issue 3. This is excuse me, this is written by the guy and drawn by the guy who does like Batman, is it White Knight, is it the Murphyverse or something, I think. This is friggin' amazing, absolutely. I don't know why Zorro was missing from my life so much, because I've literally loved everything about this book. It starts off in issue 1. It's in modern times, and it's in this little kind of village, and the legend of Zorro is passed on, and basically once a year one of the guys dresses up as Zorro, and they all kind of cheer him on and stuff like that. And that happens at the start of this book, and he's being trained in the ways of Zorro from the TV shows and the movies. And then the drug cartel who've taken over the town come in and basically kill him in front of his kids. And it then zips 20 years or something into the future, and his son is living in a monastery, but being trained in the ways of Zorro, and he gets Zorro's old sword, which is supposed to be the real Zorro's sword. And it's not clear yet whether the spirit of Zorro has inhabited him, or if he's just batshit crazy and thinks he's Zorro. But he's now running around thinking he's Zorro, and facing off guys with guns and stuff with his sword and things, and he's got a fox around his neck which is jumping at people. It's just brilliant. I'm loving everything about it. The action in it is brutal beyond belief. You've got him slicing and dicing people left, right and centre. It's everything I needed. So it's only a 4-issue miniseries, which I'm a bit gutted about, because I'm hoping I'd like to read more, but I've blasted through the 3 issues in one sitting today, actually. So really do recommend that. Really do recommend that. Fuzzy saying Sean Murphy. That's right, mate. Thank you. Sean Murphy, who does this. Really recommend this one, Fuzzy. It's superb. Chris Bell, Feral issue 1. I loved it, Chris. I know, Von Hoosh, you weren't blown away by it.
I've read it a second time, and I'm still on the sort of it's only okay for a first issue. It's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong, but it didn't blow me away either. I was sort of a bit disappointed to a degree. Yeah. But absolutely, I'm sticking with it. And
I really strongly think it's going to be like Stray Dogs, because if you read issue 1 by itself, it didn't blow me away. Right. It's in the context of the full story, I think works really well. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. But I hear what you're saying. It wasn't breathtaking. Like, you know how we both felt when we read Transformers 1. I didn't get that feeling, you know? It was...
Or Beneath the Trees. Compare it to Beneath the Trees. It's not in the same ballpark.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to stick with it. And I love Stray Dogs. Yeah. My only concern with this is it's ongoing. So it's not like one story. Like, it's going to continue. Yeah. It's the Walking Dead of cat books. It's going to go forever, in theory, if it does well.
I mean, you've just sold it to Luke there, the Walking Dead of cat books. You know what I mean? What about the rest of you? You guys been reading anything lately? James?
No, I've not. I want to catch up on Elvira, though. I haven't Elvira downloaded, so I have to finish. What was the most recent one before the newest one?
Monsters? Yeah, Monsterverse.
After Monsterverse? Horrorland, Monsterland.
Horrorland, yeah. More on Lovecraft at the moment.
And then Lovecraft, I have to catch up on that.
Good stuff. How about you, Highland G? What are you reading?
I've been working through a lot of my backlog, trying to basically work through stuff before buying anything more in. So I'm trying to be good. I've only bought like 2 books in the last month, so I'm doing quite well, I think. But
it's hard. It's hard. That's the struggle, isn't it? I mean, I've literally got a bookshelf full of stuff I haven't read. You know,
well, I've got to the point where some of my stuff's doubled up, and when things get doubled up, I just forget what's behind it. So I've been actually taking the stuff from the front off to see what's there and make sure I'm kind of going through things. So I read, I think it was the latest Power Rangers hardcover. I've been reading. There's a book called the Crusade or the Crusades, something like that, which is it's kind of like Transmetropolitan in tone, in the sense that you've got like a reporter type character, except in this case he's like a talk radio show host,
Right.
who kind of just doesn't take any crap. And in this town, there's appeared a guy that is in full knight armor, and he's basically taking on anyone who does any bad. And in Latin, whenever he kind of kills someone, he basically just says, to those who do bad will happen, or something along those lines.
Okay.
And I'm about halfway through the story at this point, where we know this guy is real in the world and not just people hallucinating, but we don't really know why. And everything is being kind of laid on the table, and different people have been blamed and things. Because as I said, this is sort of a completely adult take on a comic. It's not censored in any way, I guess. But it's an interesting book. It's
Sounds
it's
it.
a weird one.
Sounds very interesting, that one, mate. I like it. Von Hoot.
Yeah. Well, first, Ultimate Spider-Man 3. I read that today. Absolutely freaking love that.
I'm loving it.
It's so good. Like, I don't understand why it isn't just Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. The third issue was just... I was so happy like reading it, which, hasn't happened in a while with Spider-Man. Even Miles is a bit off the boil now.
Yeah, I agree.
But like Ultimate, so cool. Immediately, I was like, let's make a movie of this. Just do it. Do this. Yeah. Let's make it happen. The other thing, thanks to the Killer Comic Show and yourself, I read Infernals issue 1 and 2 today. And yes, I understand. Yes. Yeah,
amazing.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's worth a read for sure.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Good stuff, Von Hoot. Luke, you managing to read anything?
So just before I say what I've been reading, it's so nice to see DVH actually mention about Spider-Man, because I did only read the first issue, but now I'm excited to read 2 and 3. So I'm going to dive straight back onto those. The only thing that I've read this week, and I'm a little bit late to catching up, was Beneath the Trees. Mostly because I was waiting for my issue to arrive. I know we can read online through other means and stuff, but I do like reading that physical copy. And so, I had a late delivery, and I actually read it this afternoon. So it's fresh in my mind, and it's such a great series. I really do love this book, and I'm going to be really sad when it finishes, because it's only 6 parts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they'll do a season 2. I think this has got... we've talked before. This has got Dexter vibes to it. I think this will be the end of the first arc, and then there'll be another arc, hopefully down the line.
I hope so. I hope they do go full Dexter with it. That, like, she kills, that little prick that's like, he's such a dick.
Oh, arrogant little fucker, isn't he? I tell you. Yeah. No, I think, and also, just for people to be aware, I've been chatting with the artist writer on that, and he's going to come on one of the shows. So he's awesome. Very up for that. Just going to quickly jump into the chat. We've got Chris Bell, meow. Andy Farrell was predictable as fuck. Quite possibly the most. Oh, Andy. I'm not sure that your reviews count anymore, mate. Overrated book of 2024.
I'm pretty sure with Andy, we just need to give him a week.
Yeah.
Then get his movie.
It's all right. I think it's all right. The chat have immediately set upon him. Here he is again. The Oracle has spoken. Stoller and Waldorf are here. Beneath the Trees is filler. Yeah, I remember when he said that. Farrell is overrated. I think he also dissed Ultimate Spider-Man at one point, didn't he?
Come on.
Yeah. Really enjoyed issue 3 of Ultimate Spider-Man. Good stuff. Duke 4. Excuse me. Yes, I enjoyed that as well, Fuzzy. I'm really enjoying that series, actually.
That was pretty good.
Chris, nice to see you, Chris. I hope you're well. I've read loads, but can't even formulate an answer to what I've read. My little peepers are aching from all the reading and wanking, naturally. Not at the same time, hopefully, because the books, the pages stick. It's horrible. Fuzzy, Man's Best didn't do it for me. Sorry, I've not read it yet, Fuzzy. I've not read it. I did read one of the books that Andy highly recommended to read, which was some... how can I put it? Dog shit about a mermaid in a metal suit wandering around the desert. It was cack. I just didn't do it for me at all, I'm afraid.
I mean, it does sound good from that description, but...
Yeah, it was the artwork, I think, put us off. It was kind of how, like, a scene would take 3 pages rather than just a panel. Do you know what I mean? Like a drop of water coming down a face or something. It didn't out for us. Rockover Comics. I need to read Ultimate Spidey. Sounds like the book Spider-Man. It absolutely is, mate. It is. It's phenomenal. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm loving the characterization. I'm loving the humor. I'm loving the banter. It's just
the artwork is gorgeous. Everything about that book works.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a spot-on book. Okay, guys. Right, moving on. So that was Zoro. Really do recommend you go and check out Zoro. It's a very, very cool story. What we've been buying. So what have we been picking up lately? Whilst we'll talk you through that, we'll give away. So please do stick hashtag hot dog juice in the comments, and we will pick some names for that in a second. So hashtag hot dog juice. Nice. Please stick that in the chat to be in with a chance of winning some comic books. So just whilst people are doing that, we'll briefly talk about some of the things that we've been picking up recently. We've got 18 people watching. Please do hit that like and subscribe, everybody. It would be much appreciated. I'll start off. I've been picking up a few signature books from bloody Whatnot again. I need to stop going on Whatnot. But this is, I don't like Cyberforce, but this is Cyberforce. This is an Ashcan signed by Mark Silvestri. So this was given out at cons many moons ago. So yeah, don't know why I bought it. But it's got some.
They can go for a good price, those Ashcans. I've got one from the Max, which is like pretty damn pricey.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
I mean, I haven't looked at it yet, but it looks kind of. It's got 2 signatures on there, mate. It only says one on the back.
It's literally the book, but tiny.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Badly printed. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, I was going to make another totally non-PC book, kind of comment about who these are designed for. But yeah, that's Cyberforce. I got this, and again, this is Turf #1. But it's signed by Jonathan Ross. So he wrote this. Jonathan
I've got
Ross.
Jonathan Ross signed book as well.
Yeah.
It's not that one. It's a different one he did.
Yeah, so he did a Project Superpowers, I think was one, or something about people getting, which was quite good. I've not read this one, but I just thought, for a Jonathan Ross signature, I wouldn't mind picking it up because I do quite like Wossie. Now, Von Hoot. Think you're going to find this one sexy. This is double signed. This is a New York Comic Con exclusive homage to X-Men 1, and it is Transformers.
That's awesome.
This is
I've not
really
seen that
cool.
at all. That's great.
Now, interestingly, this came through, and I thought, this is bullshit, because if you look at the book, it's absolutely manky. It looks dirty. It looks like. I mean, if you look at the spine, it looks like they've got muck all over it. So I thought, that's pretty good. Like it's meant to be like that, yeah. So it's designed to look like that, yeah. Now, how the hell CGC grade that? I haven't got a bloody clue. But yeah, it's just a really cool book. I haven't seen that one before, so I thought I would pick that one up. Okay, James T of the Keegan. Have you got anything you want to show off?
I've got nothing really. I'm awaiting my In-Art Batman to be coming in the next month or so I'm holding off on purchases for the moment.
No problem at all. Highland G, anything?
Not this time, sorry.
Not a problem. Hoot.
Okay, so I don't think we've done this show since I got this, and it was thanks to Luke that
nice.
I grabbed this. I love this set. It's amazing. I've been waiting for them to release it on Blu-ray forever.
Yeah.
And if you need to know what that's about, watch Luke's video because he does it good. But I didn't realize that I could get this so cheap, honestly. So I never really looked for it, and it is a bargain. It's like 30 quid for the entire run. Great stuff. And then I got a couple of slabs, which this is.
Oh, I love that cover.
It's one of my favorite books. I love the story, and I love this cover. It's amazing with the black hand. Always wondered why it was Bruce Wayne's grave, but never mind. If you haven't read this, go and read it. It's really, really, really good. It's dark as hell.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Really dark. But
Jeff Jones, did some incredible Green Lantern stuff back in the day.
Amazing.
I've got it all in absolute format, and it's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful.
Then I got this little book came in
Ooh.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Very sexy.
I'm very happy to have this. I got this for a freaking steal. Like, nearly half FMV.
Wow.
So I was, on eBay. It's just the right time. And, I'm super happy to have it. Low grade, but, I mean...
Doesn't matter. It's a stunning classic cover, isn't it?
I love this. I love it very much. Like, I hug it before I go to bed. It's
Nice.
wonderful.
Nice. Good.
So,
Good.
that'll do me.
Yeah. Very cool, mate. Very cool. I love it. Luke?
Nothing that I can actually show at the moment. It's all over on the shelves over there. But I've been pretty much on a selling spree rather than a buying spree. So I've been selling loads of comics and toys and all sorts on eBay. But yeah, haven't actually got anything here at hand to be able to show you guys because I haven't unboxed it yet.
Not a problem. Just whilst we're talking, the comment giver hasn't worked again. Never does. Just give us a second. Hashtag talk amongst yourselves. There we are. 13. Okay, so we've got 13 people put in so far. So last few minutes, guys. Please do stick hot dog juice in the comments and we'll pick some comic books any second now. Okay, let's have a look. Last few seconds, guys, and we will select that. Share screen, giveaway tool. Okay, everybody see that? That's on screen, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, guys, here we are. So good luck, everybody. Let's draw this for some comics. And tonight, our winner is... Big Stack. Congratulations, Big Stack. You are tonight's winner. If you're in the comments, drop us a line over on Instagram and we'll make sure we'll get these books sent over to you soon as possible. So, chaps, the usual stuff that we do. Let us just make myself get a big. Luke, we'll start with you. Tell us when to stop.
Stop.
Front or back?
Front.
Okay. James T of the Keegan.
Stop.
Front or back?
Go forward 3.
Forward 3. 1, 2. Okay. Highland G.
Stop.
Front or back?
Back.
Back. Oh, that's sexy. Von Hoot.
Stop. Go forward 3.
Yeah, you're going to go backwards as well, aren't you? 1, 2,
And then
3.
back 4.
1, 2, 3. 4.
And then forward 3.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Luke, you pick a one.
Stop.
Okay, front or back?
Back.
Back. Oh. Okay. Right, Big Stack. Let's see what you have won. So, you've got a variant edition of Miles Morales Spider-Man 39. That's a really nice cover. I like that one. That's very, very sexy. This is James T. Keegan's pick for you. You've got Justice League Dark Lego Frankenstein edition. That actually it looks a bit like James T. Keegan. So yeah, you've got.
Is the sticker on the book as well?
No, it's not, mate. That's a shame. I'll take it off and I'll put it on the book before I send it. This is a nice one. I like this. This is a variant edition, I believe. This is a Domino #1 Delotto cover. That's quite a hard one to get a hold of. That's some cool. sexy Delotto cover work there. Very nice. Next, we've got another variant. This is Spider-Gwen Shadow Clone with Spider-Gwen as Kraven the Hunter, I believe. So that's pretty cool. I like that. This one's a sexy one. This one is a nice, sexy one. This is a book we've just been talking about, and it's a variant foil cover, and it is Duke #1, all shiny and sexy. So that's quite a nice book to get. So good stuff. Okay, so Big Stack, send us your number, send us your address and whatnot, and we'll get these books out to you this week. So that's over on Instagram. Send that over to us, mate. Okay, right. Moving on, guys. Let's talk a little bit about some of the dirty Duke cover. Exactly, mate. Lego variants are class, though. Other though. Right, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff we've been watching. I set you some homework to watch a couple of trailers. Before we get into that, let's just mention this. This will be coming out on Tuesday over on my channel. This is I Can View This All Day, and we're talking Batman 66. Me and Keegas are having a good discussion about this, so please do, if you want to join in, make sure you've watched it before the video goes live on Tuesday, and listen to what we thought of it. A lot of talk about Randy Bruce Wayne trying to bang everything that moves, and Dick Grayson just taking any old tablet that you hand him, which was quite interesting. So yeah, check that out. Okay. So, I went to see Godzilla Kiss Kong New Empire. I've done a video about this, so if you want to know my in-depth thoughts on this one, you can go and see that over on my channel. Any of you guys seen this yet?
I don't think I want to go cinema to see it. Like, I'm more than happy just waiting for it to come out on streaming or DVD. It's not something that screams for me.
This, the only good thing about it is that it's like huge and epic, and like
I'm worried that it's not epic.
So to be fair, I'm not going to do spoilers. To be fair, this suffers from exactly the same issues, I think, as the rest of the MonsterVerse films. It feels a little bit worse, I think, because we're on the back of Godzilla -1, which was just phenomenal. So this was never going to meet that standard. Basically, with this, you can cut out all the human interaction and just give us big spectacles of monsters hitting each other. And absolutely, Von Hoot, those scenes are worth the ticket admission alone to see on the big screen in all the glory, because they are phenomenal. I have to say, remember a couple of years ago, was it the Man of Steel movie? Everybody got the knickers in the twist about collateral damage and how it's not referenced enough in movies and all these people die and so like that. Jesus Christ. I mean, the end of this movie, they literally decimate half the planet, I think, Nebuchadnezzar's surviving in those cities. But yeah, it's popcorn flick fun, I would say.
Have you watched Monarch? Because I'm about halfway through it now.
I'm halfway through, mate. So I think I had a free trial or something, and it ran out halfway through Monarch, so I haven't seen the end of it.
Does it?
Three episodes in, and I stopped it.
Does it sort of fit with Monarch at all, or is it
in as much as Monarch is a thing and has stations and things around in portals?
Right.
I don't think there's any real link unless I missed something.
But like tonally, does it feel the same? I'm just intrigued, like whether
kind of. Yeah.
It's basically just like Skull.
It's like all the rest.
Yeah,
it's like all the rest. Yeah,
that's what I expected it to be. So I'm fine with that. I just wondered because there's a little bit more depth in Monarch. So
no, there's not a lot of depth in this.
Okay.
And in fact, the humans irritate. One human in particular irritates the hell out of us. They've tried. In my mind, they've very much tried a little bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy magic. I was going to say, he has a cool character. Every time he does anything, we'll put some kind of pop song, kind of cool music on it. It just doesn't, doesn't work.
Is that Dan Stevens' character? Because I love Dan Stevens.
Which one's Dan Stevens? I don't know.
Kind of blonde. He was in The Guest. And,
yes, that's him.
That's
him. Yeah. I mean, you might like him. You love most films, James. So do you know what I mean?
That's not true. That's absolutely not true.
I think it's a little bit true.
No, I didn't like Imaginary. I didn't like any horror movie this year so far.
That is true. Yeah. I'm told if you ignore -1, it's okay. Same as you said there. Yeah, it is, but it's popcorn fun.
I mean, -1 is a completely different style of movie. Like, it's just like it shouldn't be in the conversation. Like, you can't apples and oranges. Obviously, -1 is an Oscar contender. Yeah. It's that damn good. Yeah. This is going to be popcorn trash. This is popcorn. Know that going in.
But that's what you go to watch. And as I say in my video, I have to say, as I say in that thing, my cinema was full of kids and people younger than me, I have to say, and they loved it for what it was. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thinking movie. Big Dave's right. Rio is where the action happens at the end, and I mean that place is just gone. I love you, Keith.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it, Fuzz.
So that was Godzilla Kong. James, you're going to have to try and watch this, and we'll talk about it on Friday night.
I think I'll be able to see it Monday.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Again, I don't want to do spoilers. This is the latest episode of X-Men. I was a little bit negative about episode 1 and 2. They didn't necessarily set my world on light. I really thoroughly enjoyed episode 3. I thought this was really strong. The animation was excellent. The characters were really cool. You got a glimpse of one of my favourite all-time X characters, Magic, Ilyana Rasputin. So yeah, loved it. You guys watched any of these yet? Any of the X-Men animated series?
Really enjoying this. I like how Morph is like an Easter egg, a walking Easter egg.
Yeah.
He just pops into random characters, like in some Magic. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. It's great.
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Yeah, I watched episodes 1 and 2. Really enjoyed them. Really liked all the animation style. It was a nice bit of nostalgia going back to it all. Unfortunately, I've now hit a problem because my subscription to Disney Plus has now run out. We've taken it away. So when I'll get back to it, I have no idea. I know there are other means, or there's other ways that I can see it.
Just wait until it finishes and then do another sub for a month.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly. So, yeah, I'm kind of I loved what I saw, but now I'm sad that you're saying episode 3 is so good, and I'm gonna have to wait.
For me,
Maybe
I mean,
skip the Mythic Legend figure maybe once a year.
touche, Mr. Keegan.
Listen, it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with affordability. It is literally to do with the fact that there was at the time nothing that I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and I just so happened to put those 2 episodes on the week before I gave up the series, or gave up the platform. But yeah, for the most part, I have all of the older films on disc, so it just sat there not being watched.
Good stuff. Highland G, you've been watching X-Men.
I haven't, but I tend to watch things in kind of binges once they're done. So I'll probably wait till there's a season out and then watch through.
Yeah. Phil, nice to see you, Phil. My Fire Stick doesn't have X-Men. I'm not paying for Disney again. It's gone up. I think it's 100 odd quid now. Von Hoot, you're an X-Men fan, yeah?
I absolutely freaking love it. Like, honestly, I took a bit of an issue with your review of it last week, and I've put it down to you being a cranky old man that day.
Cranky.
It's a kid's show, and it is a kid's show. You could show this to a kid. It has lots of exposition.
But
like
you see, I don't feel episode 3 felt like a kid's show. That's probably why I liked it more.
Yeah, it didn't more. So, but again, there's lots of exposition in those first 2 episodes, which is very sort of like fill in the gaps for people that may not know. And I mean, the only thing I could think that I could pinpoint that I could say is a criticism-ish is the animation is really good, but some of the power lines of the outlines of the characters are too pronounced.
Right.
And a big super anal there, but if you watch back and forth, and I like this so much, I've gone back and started watching the old series again. It's really got me in the mood for X-Men like nothing has before. Like, I'm super into it.
So the back issue prices for the comic have gone through the roof as well. And I know I was talking to Efren, and he was saying he's not watched this yet because he's gone back to rewatch the entirety of the old cartoon first.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And they fit hand to hand really well. I'm watching both at the same time, and it's just... I mean, admittedly, the new series is cooler. The animation in it is fantastic. That bit in the first episode with Cyclops doing
it drops
the plasma blast and lands, and is like, to me, my X-Men.
Yeah.
Just... That's my mind exploding.
Is that what that is?
Bit of brain...
Boop. Okay, I like it. Okay, moving on from Hoot's brain going boop. Highland G, I'm going to come to you first about this, right? But bear in mind, we're not talking spoilers, and I expect that you haven't seen the cartoon, okay? But latest episode of Invincible is out, and it was absolutely friggin' phenomenal. If you're an Invincible fan, you would have loved this, I hoped. I thought the episode was great. Like I say, not talking spoilers, but this episode introduces a character that appears in later Invincible mythology. Now, Highland J, you've read all of Invincible, haven't you? Yeah.
I've watched the cartoon apart from the latest episode as well.
All right. Okay. So the latest episode introduces this female Viltrumite who has a pretty significant role to play in later issues of Invincible.
Just a little bit.
Do you think, because it's dark, do you think this cartoon is going to have the balls to go that far on TV?
I don't think they will show it, but they'll probably have it happen off screen.
Yeah. That's
because
kind
they
of
have to for the character's arc
yeah.
to be true to the story, but they won't show. I mean, I'd hope they wouldn't show it, but
yeah, very cool, guys. If you aren't watching Invincible, I know James, I think you've started watching it, haven't you? Or are you just
4 episodes in?
Okay.
I think they go the
I don't know
route
why I have to
they did with the boys, where they have the whole sequence when she joins, and they have the well, you know what sequence I'm talking about, but they don't actually show it. They just kind of pan from views.
Yeah. Fuzzy, basically what we're implying is that there is something very significant with this character in the future, and I don't know whether they'll actually do it or not because it's quite near the knuckle.
I don't know what happens, but from what you're saying and that thing about the boys, I can infer what you're saying.
Yeah. I want
and
to know, so. They
won't. It'll happen, but
but they just won't show
it
it
on screen. I wouldn't think. I'd be shocked if it was.
Overall, but guys, if you aren't watching Invincible, you're missing out. I think this last 3 episodes have been some of the best from the series.
I've not seen this episode yet, but the other ones just blew me away. This season has been amazing. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah.
There's an amazing scene in this episode. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, but amazing scene in this episode where he's at a Comic-Con. And that's just funny. It's very, very well done. Very well done. Right, guys, I gave you some homework. The first bit of homework was this. This is Frosted from, I think it's Netflix, coming out.
Unfrosted, isn't it?
Unfrosted, yeah. And this. I had no idea what the hell this was. I watched the trailer. This is basically about the war between cereal brands when Pop-Tarts were kind of introduced. This trailer absolutely blew me away. I loved everything about this, to the cast, to the humour, to the stupidity, to the batshit crazy madness. I can't wait for this. I think this is.
Are you being serious?
Great. I am being serious. I thought this was
looked fucking awful.
I feel like this trailer is Marmite.
Yeah.
Straight off the bat, because for anybody who wants documentary-esque film on a story that's true to what happened, this is not that. This is an outright comedy with every cameo they could possibly throw at it.
Yeah.
And I think there's 2 polarizing audiences for that.
Comedies should be funny though, and I didn't laugh at all.
Well, I laughed.
Yeah, that's down to different humor. But like for me, it's just the fact that it's not true to the story. When I first saw the little kind of starting bit, I was like, oh, we're gonna get a Kellogg's fight off story, like we've done with, say Beanie Babies or Tetris or other different things. I was intrigued.
McDonald.
When all the humor and comedians got through at it, I just I might enjoy seeing it at some point, but it wasn't what I would expect that kind of film to be. And I'm surprised Kellogg signed off on it. But
yeah, I mean, crazy. What about you, Luke? What did you think of this?
This caught me completely off guard. So when you first sent it and I started watching, I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be like the Tetris movie, which actually was a real surprise for me. I was surprised how invested I was in that film.
Yeah.
But that was very serious. Despite it being about a video game, it was a serious story. This just went completely off the rails and went like batshit crazy, and I'm here for it. I actually really enjoyed it. It caught me off guard, but I'm intrigued. I want to see more.
Looks fun. Hoot.
I'm an odd one here because I really like the sort of straight biopic dramas. So I was like, I didn't know that's what this trailer was going to be. I had no idea what this trailer was going to be when it started playing. So, but like on the one hand, I do like those straight biopic dramas, but this is so batshit looking that I'm like, let's do this. Like, it'll go one of 2 ways. It'll either be my favorite movie, or I'll fucking hate it. Like, depending on like how it.
I just wonder if there's any truth to it at all, apart from the creation of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hear what you're saying because I do quite like those historic. One of my favourites, actually, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is The Founder with Michael Keaton. Have you seen that? The McDonald's story. That's really heartbreaking, actually, but very cool. This, I have to say, I have no skin in the game, as they say. I have no allegiance to Pop Tarts, or I don't know the backstory to the Pop Tart.
I had a Pop Tart today,
fiasco.
actually, funny enough.
It's
pretty good.
This just looked stupid, but it may be that it's an absolute flop. But I think it looked fun.
I can't stand Amy Schumer, so like that's one of the reasons.
I'm not a fan of her. Like,
can't stand her. Christian Slater's in this though, so that's
all right.
Yeah,
I think if I was to see it, it'd be a one watch and done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a curiosity and it's on Netflix at the end of the day. So like we could just put it on and be like, okay,
What's
that
the,
happened.
Yeah,
One way
if
or
it gets
the
too much, just switch off. It's fine.
Yeah.
What's the comedian's name? Is it Bill Burr, and he was playing the president?
Yeah. He's playing
That's
JFK,
where it
isn't
had
he?
me.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm here for it.
Fuzzy eats an ungodly amount of Pop Tarts. Fuzzy fact.
Interesting.
We're building a picture of you now, Fuzzy. You know, each. I mean, what you probably don't know, Fuzzy, is after each episode of these kind of live shows, we sit down. We've got a whiteboard that Luke obviously has, and we'll plot fuzziness. You know, so that'll be another one. Yeah, we've got threads and everything. So that'll be another one for the board, Luke. If we can write down.
We're gonna do a 3-hour live stream where we reveal the board.
Yeah.
Just curious, Fuzzy, what flavor? Well, I guess a cinnamon toast man or a strawberry.
I had a chocolate fudge brownie one, I think, a little while ago.
I
Thomas had some.
I have a chocolate sundae one. I literally bought a box of Pop Tart at Comic Con, and
I remember. Didn't you buy them as a gift?
I wasn't sure if Camille liked Pop Tarts or not, so that's why I remember I asked her at dinner, and she was like, "No." She's like, "Yes, but I don't want them." I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll eat them then." So I had one today, but I've had like 5 Pop Tarts in my life, I think.
Okay, Pop Tart talk, lovely. Chocolate or strawberry? Fuzzy's old school again. Let's get that on the board. Now. Before we show this next image, I'm not interested in talking about what we think this individual did in the past and all the rest of it. Let's separate that from the actual trailer we watched, which was Bad Boys. Bad Boys 4. What was the title? Is it Ride or Die?
Ride or Die.
Ride.
Which
Ride
still
or Die?
annoys me because they used it should have been Bad Boys for Life. But the last one was called Bad Boys for Life, and
You're right.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot there.
Yeah,
You're right. So this is the Bad Boys 4 trailer. I'm a big fan of the franchise. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last few movies. I even enjoyed number 3, to be honest. This trailer came on. Wow, I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I liked it. I was all in on this. It looked fun. It looked silly. It had some good looking action in it. I was in on this more than I expected to be. We'll start at the bottom. Hoot hoot. What did you think of Bad Boys?
It was a really good trailer. They did a really good job. It's an action movie at the end of the day, and we want action and comedy. Yeah, why not throw them together? I can't say I'm a big fan of the franchise. Like, I like Bad Boys quite a lot. I think Bad Boys 2 is only good if you watch it directly after Bad Boys. It's weird because every time I've seen it individually, I think, oh, that was painful. 3 is good right up until the end. Like, they really dismounted like towards the ending with a really terrible ending. But I'm there for the 4th one. Why not? Let's do this.
Why not? Why the hell not? Highland G, are you a Bad Boys fan?
I think I saw the first one a while ago, and to be honest, it's like a much cheesier Rush Hour to me in a way where a lot of it is not believable, but is deliberately not believable. It's like on that level of cheese where, like, if you're in the mood, it's something you'll really enjoy, but it's not something that I would necessarily like come back to for a 3rd or 4th kind of one. I'd rather just rewatch the original. What
did you think of the trailer? Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer. I thought the action sequences looked pretty good for most of it. Towards the end, it got a little bit blurry that I wasn't really sure what was going on. But other than that, it looked and sounded good. The comedy was good as well.
Good stuff. And James.
Yeah, I was stunned at the last one, how good it was. Like, I was really taken aback by that. So this one looks I think of equal quality. Like with action comedies, there tends to be it leans too far one way or the other. Like the action's not great, but it's too comedic. I think Bad Boys has always had a really good balance of that. Action scenes in this look awesome. I'm happy that it's a red band trailer, so we see like how like the gunshots and everything in it. Yeah, looks really fun. So I'm excited with this. Yeah.
Good stuff. I forgot, when I saw this trailer and I saw the guy sitting in his sitting room, I forgot how much I enjoy that scene in Bad Boys 3 where he comes to pick up his daughter and the pair of them are kind of playing the dad and the uncle kind of. I love that scene. Love it. Luke, how about you, mate? What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, exactly the same as what all of you guys have said. I'm here for it. I think it's I'm looking forward to it. The trailer was really fun. It made me laugh in places and the action looked great. So yeah, why not have another Bad Boys movie? I do agree with what James said, though. They got the titles all wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I read at one point there was talk of a Beverly Hills Cop Bad Boys crossover. I don't know how I feel about Beverly Hills Cop coming back. But yeah, that would be interesting. That would be cool. Can't wait for
Axel F.
Yeah. I haven't seen Eddie Murphy in anything for a long time, but so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs, shall we say.
He did the Dolomite film, and that was amazing. That was really, really good.
Don't think I've seen that one. Next, we've got this. This kind of took me completely by surprise. This I remember reading or talking a little while ago about something coming out, a short, but it kind of arrived for me without any fanfare. It just appeared. And it wasn't, I just kind of spotted it on Instagram or something. So this is the Spider-Verse short. Is it called, I can't remember, is it The Spider Within or something I think it's called? Yep. It's a couple of minutes long, and it basically tells the story of Miles coming home after all kinds of shenanigans going on. His dad kind of having planned a movie night with him, and he doesn't want to take part, so he sits in his bedroom and he starts imagining this kind of, or does he imagine? We don't know. This character appears, and it all goes a bit tits up. And then at the end, he comes out and speaks to his dad and goes for a walk. I absolutely loved this. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think as a parent myself, it certainly tugged on the whole old heartstrings of you want to spend time with your kid and them not necessarily being interested or whatever, and that side of things I thought was really well done. Animation was spot on. I loved the imagery of the kind of the dark creature at the start with the glowing eyes and things. I just really enjoyed this. Luke, we'll start with you. You're a Spider fan. What did you think of this?
With great power comes sleep paralysis. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Again, much like what you said, this was a great depiction of that sort of like anxiety and mental health stuff that Miles might have been going through. But it was the dad that really, hit the heartstrings for me, because you can see he put a lot of effort into it all. He had like the mask on, he set up horror movies, he had popcorn. And the fact that his son wasn't interested, he didn't push it. He was just like, okay, that's fine, and let him go. And then he came back, and then he was there, willing to talk, go out for the walk and do everything. And that did really hit me. I make a lot of effort for my kids, and they're only young, let alone when they're teenagers. I can't bear to think how that will go down. So yeah, it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know this short was coming out.
Yeah.
I don't really know where it fits, or like it's kind of just there and it's good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's necessarily important for any other reason.
I think you're right, Luke. I don't think it's important. I couldn't tell you at what point in the movies this slots in. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's there. But yeah, good stuff, good points. James T?
Yeah, just on Luke's part, I think this might not even be canon necessarily. This is just like, it's effectively a mental health PSA, but I think it does a wonderful job of, if anyone who's ever had like anxiety or a panic attack, it sort of captures how that feels in a way, like with the visuals of it. It's very strange. But yeah, I thought it was really touching and just excellent. Sort of random. I think they kind of put it out because the movie The Beyond got delayed.
Yeah.
It's to give us something to hold us over. But yeah, visually stunning as all the Spider-Verse stuff is.
I think you're right, James. And I think I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a bigger fanfare about this, because you could easily miss this. Do you know what I mean? I don't
absolutely,
think. Yeah. Highland G, did you enjoy this?
I don't think I got it. Like personally, like I get what you guys are saying, but what I saw looking at it, not as a dad type perspective, was a kid that went in, ignored his dad. Yeah, sure, the dad wants, the kid to connect. I get that kind of bit. The kid goes and has a nightmare about his sort of spider powers ruining his life. And that was quite well animated, quite shocky. Yeah. I kind of got that aspect. But then he goes back to his dad and he talks about homework and girls. So the dad thinks that he's now connecting with his son's troubles, but that's not his trouble. His trouble's the spider stuff. So I was just left a bit perplexed at the end because the kid's not actually getting the help he needs on the area that he was having the nightmare about.
Well, that's sort of how anxiety works, I think. You have issues, but you're not necessarily focused on that.
I don't feel if that could have been like maybe fleshed out a little bit more. But overall, it was well animated.
Yeah, no, I take your point, G, and I'm going to go back and watch it probably a couple more times actually. But I do take your point that if you haven't got that personal collection, it might not read well, if that makes sense. You might not get all the jumps to it, I guess.
I mean, sometimes I take things slightly differently anyway, just because people are coming from different perspectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all kind of take it at our own pace, I guess, don't we? Our own view. Von Hoot, what did you think of it?
So, my main question was what Luke said, which is like, how does this fit into the thing that we just watched? Like, that's where I was coming from when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And it sort of really doesn't, I guess, like, is the gist of it. Also, as a Miles fan, this version of Miles, the sort of head trauma Miles, is not my favorite version of Miles, and that has crept into the books quite a lot, and it's sort of annoying to me that I'm having to like now get it like, oh, yeah, like I understand like people have to deal with stuff, and I understand it is probably a really good, helpful PSA like that's cool, but at the same time it's not the Miles that I want to watch. Like I want the fun sort of the cool new Spider-Man Miles.
That's a really interesting point, Von Hoot. I've never, because I don't read a lot of Miles. I read him a lot at the start, following Ultimate Fallout and stuff. But I don't read his regular book at the moment. So is the version of Miles from Spider-Verse starting to creep into and influence the main version of Miles?
I think so, in so much as like this is an ongoing thing with him where he really struggles with his mental health in the books in a way, and I'm not suggesting it's handled particularly well, but like it's a thing that he's always sort of really worried and like the juggling act of being Spider-Man is obviously very difficult for him.
Yeah,
and he's definitely going through the sort of the trouble mentally for a lot of the books at the moment, and that is becoming inherently taxing because it's a downer, honestly. It's like
you just want some fun in the book.
That's sort of like a defining element of Spider-Man, I feel, though, is like the balance and the sacrifice that you have to make in your
it is, but if it's constant, it's the same reason people
need
don't
levity,
like the Amazing Spider-Man run anymore, is because they keep doing a thing that people don't really want. And I'm starting to get that with Miles, in so much as they keep doing that. Now, the thing with the evil character at the bottom of the bed, a reoccurring villain for Miles is essentially Miles. Like Ultimatum is a character that was from the last run, and in this new one, we like spoilers for that movie. Like it ends with like an evil Miles. So that's what I took from that. I figured that he was having nightmares about evil Miles. And
all right, okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Overall, an interesting little movie, well worth a watch if you've got time. It's only a couple of minutes, isn't it? What, 3 or 4 minutes, if that?
No, I think it's like 6 or 7, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
7.
Yeah,
video's 7, but there's like a minute intro
5
and 2 minutes of credits.
Credits.
Yeah. It's worth watching. It is fun, and it's free. It's on YouTube, so yeah, check that out.
I honestly thought it was a DVD extra or something.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for your involvement and comments today. It's been really, really interesting. Few things to mention. That's all my socials. You can check us out over there. A couple of videos for you to look at. We've got my Comic-Con video at the Metro Centre. We've got my review of Kong Godzilla, and just wanted a bit of a push really for a show I did on Monday night over on Past Point Comics' YouTube channel, our questions show where we ask each other a whole host of questions. So that was great fun as usual. Got into some interesting debate. Always fun to do that with everyone. And James, you're going to be joining one next month, I think, so that's going to be interesting. We'll no doubt be talking food and different things. We talked about what's the weirdest thing you've put in your mouth this week, so that was quite interesting as well. One good scare. I just want to give a massive tip of the hat to Mr. Keegan there. First of all, we've hit 200 subs now, so over the moon with that. That's a fantastic achievement for our little channel, so thank you to everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do go and check it out. But I wanted to say a massive thank you to James, because he's literally been working his little arse off this week editing videos for. So he's edited three
this week, and I have a fourth one on the way at the moment.
So please do check them out. We've got some stonkers for you. First of all, we've got this. We have different views on this movie, I think, James.
Is that fair to say? This was a very heated conversation we had about this one, because I really enjoyed it and you did not.
I thought it was, So yeah, check that one out. This is a tremendous movie. This is Late Night with the Devil. Edit on that one is spot on, James, as it is with all of them. So yeah, please check that one out as well. It is phenomenal. And then this is out today. Well, I've watched it, so it must be out now. Yeah, and this is our review of The Omen. So again, another great one.
Really proud of how this one came out. I think it was a fun edit anyway. There's some good running gags throughout it and everything.
And then this is the next one coming your way soon. What's this one about, James?
This is an Immaculate spoiler review. So Monday, I think, if you're Batman on Tuesday, I'll for Monday. So yeah.
So this is Immaculate. This was an interesting movie. So yeah, again, please check that one out. Just a reminder to everybody that we've got the Killer Comic Show on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, where we'll do all of our usual comic book reviews, favourite covers, and worst covers, and show off some pickups. So please check that out as well. Von Hoot, you've had a little bit of a celebration as well yourself recently, haven't you?
Yeah, last weekend we did our 300 subscriber giveaway.
Fantastic.
Over at the Comiverse, because Tony and I are basically sort of similar levels. So, and I'm a regular on his show as well. So we did the giveaway. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. Now, unfortunately, it started at 11 and finished at, I don't know, 2 in the morning, something. So there can't have been that many UK people around for it. So I feel bad about that, but it was a lot of fun. And thank you all for subbing me and watching my content. It's awesome.
Good stuff.
I'll have a video out on Monday. It'll be an unboxing of a thing, because that's what I do.
An unboxing of a thing.
I'm on a holiday now. The school has broken up, and I am free for the next 2 weeks or so. So yeah,
good.
I might be around a bit more. I might not be.
Good
I
stuff.
would like to say, like, one good scare. Those videos are great, and they're really well produced. You should be really proud of them, James. They're really engaging, and I think that you're going to break through big when it finally hits. Like, one of those videos is going to go. See?
I'm joking up here.
They're really, really good, and I admire them, because like I do editing, and I have a degree in video production. I'm not good at either of them, but I understand it. So I watch it, and I think fair, get and play.
Thank you.
They're
so
good.
Much.
And very entertaining. You're both funny, and I like reviews of old films as well, so that helps.
Yeah.
So it's in my wheelhouse.
Good stuff. The only bad point of One Good Scare is the now regular session me and James have to have with Efren trying to explain how editing works.
I literally did a video tutorial for him showing, and he just can't understand. But where's the video part? What do you do with the video? How do you
Well,
put
like,
it together if the video?
Poor James talks to him for 15 minutes and then Efren goes, yeah. So how do you do it? It's like, oh, God. Highland G, anything coming up on your channel, mate?
I've got a couple of videos in the works. I've actually got a poll on my channel just now for what kind of video people want for another sort of. I've basically been doing a sort of recommending 5 recent comics that I've read within a particular kind of area. So I did one on manga and I've done one on Cinebook comics. So I've got a bit of a poll up to see what people want next. But I'm just generally working on stuff in the background. I don't have anything ready to go yet.
Good stuff. Well, look forward to whatever the next content is from you, my friend. And Luke, what have we got happening on Hydra Collectibles?
Yeah, so I have a new obsession. Mythic Legions. So if you don't know what they are, or if you're even remotely interested in action figure collecting, go and give the video a check out.
Is this what you're selling all your stuff to fund? Because you're going to
There's a lot of things that I am selling to.
You're going to regret it. I'm telling you.
It's yeah, I'm not selling anything major. Like I'm selling like older vintage toys that are missing parts in order to buy these things. Like I'm not selling anything that I would regret. Not yet, at least. But yeah, go and check it out. I think they're pretty cool. I've made some nice little displays using them. As DVH said, it's the half term for Easter, and the kids are off. And unfortunately for me, that means I lose my freedom. So you're probably not going to get a video from me this week.
That's the one upside to a teenager. They do whatever they want.
Normally I wait for them to be at school so I can get my recording done, because they're just too loud otherwise. But hopefully I'll be back soon, and I actually want to jump back into some more comic book content.
Good stuff. We'll look forward to that then, Luke. Good stuff. Okay, ladies and gents, that's your whack. Thank you very much to everybody that's been in the chat tonight. It's been great fun having you as ever. And thank you to everybody that's been on screen with us tonight. There's going to be no Monday show from me on Monday, because it's obviously Easter Monday, so we're going to be having a night off, but we'll be back the week after with Saturday Night Live, and then I think we'll do a toy show the Monday after, so that should be fun. I hope you all have a great Easter. Have fun, everybody, and thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.